Right, I've sanded back those shims, painted it, so just like that, it's hard to tell that there's plastic hard there. Now, putting old mate in the back, you need to try and fit him to the seat first, because you can't get him in once the seat's in, unless you want to chop his feet off, which is probably alright, you don't see him. The other problem was I had to trim the tabs, the black painted part tabs off, because I couldn't get it in, because the closing locking mechanism, or the actuator for the canopy up and down, wouldn't fit in because of the seat. So I had to trim them off to get that in. So that's a tick. The canopy goes on still. The other problem is the seats have this tab that fits in to the floor, but they don't go in. I can't get them in for the life of me, so I'm trimming the tab away so I can get the seat in. So same thing, I haven't done it yet, I'm gonna trim that tab off, fit it, check it, see if I can put old mate in afterwards, or I have to put him, this one should be alright, it's got more room in the front, and then be time to put the canopy on. I'm not fussed about putting the wash in the cockpit, even though there's a lot of glass you're going to see through. It's not as visual as if the canopy was open, so I'm just going to leave it as is probably. So I got him in. This guy you can put in after the seat's in. That's not, I haven't glued it yet, I just did a dry fit, even though he's not glued either. That's really snug fit. This one I might glue. It's a bit of maneuvering, but you can get his grip on the joystick, so the pose is correct. But yeah, I had to trim that tab on the seat to get it to go in. It's just too, they just don't go in. So they're looking the part. Okay, I've primed the underside of the aircraft with grey, but before that I finished finally the canopy. It's finally glued on. So it took a lot longer than I had hoped, but we're finally there. So now we're into my favourite stage, painting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prime it grey, and then I'm going to make a splatter template with this 3M scourer. I peel it, you can't get it perfect in half. I peel it, thin it down to get the paint through better. I'm going to prime it grey. I'm going to use this and spray white over that, and then I'm going to pre-shade panel lines black. So I'm doing 3 stages on the under coat before I move to actual paint. I bought these to try, not the brand of paint, to see what the colours are like. Normally I use Mr. Hobby or Mr. Colour. The colours of the F-18 are light goes grey and dark goes grey. So FS 36375 and FS 36320. When I use Mr. Hobby or Mr. Colour, they're really close. I know the aircraft, the colours are close, but I want some sort of distinction. So I'm going to see what these perform like. If they are too close, well then I'll have to either darken the dark ghost or lighten the light ghost, just so you can see visually the difference in the paint. on the camouflage. So once I get the prime on and do the splatter effect and the pre-shade, I'll come back and show you that before I paint. So I'm doing the underside first, which is the light ghost grey. Okay, so that's the first bit after the grey primer. I've laid down the white, keep it random. Some patches are lighter, some patches are darker, more pronounced, so the more random the better. I won't do the top till I'll paint the lower part of the aircraft, and then when I mask it off, then I'll do the top. So while I was at that, also remember you got to do all the other parts the same way. So that's the lower side of the stabilizer, which will be the light ghost grey. Weapons pylons will be the same color, and drop tanks. So I've just got to do the pre-shading black, but that won't be today. I'm running out of time. I need to go and start. I'm going to cut the pine board out I got for the base for this and drill the holes for the acrylic rod, and I'll need to make up a base for that tank I'm doing, the AMX-50. So I had to go, I prepared this old wing with the splatter and the black primer, and I painted the light ghost grey, which is that side, and the dark ghost grey, and it's pretty much the same as Mr. Hobby, Mr. Colour. You can hardly see the difference. So maybe I should just leave it like that. Obviously that's how that paint is, because there's a couple of different brands and it's the same result, just that it's so hard to see the demarcation between the two. I'd like a bit more showing a bit more, so I might mix a bit of dark grey into the dark ghost grey to just give it a bit more demarcation, so you can see the actual difference in the colours. So we're making good progress now.